Hey, welcome everybody. Tony Porter, Cards and Dice TV. This is my 1959 Braves replay. I'm not a big 1959 guy. I'm just learning it as I go, learning the players, and I'm really realizing that, hey, you had some really superstar players back then. Baseball cards are gorgeous, by the way. The Topps baseball cards for 1960 that represents the previous season. Oh man, they got color on them. They're gorgeous. And so the Braves lost the last game, so I believe they're 15-9 right now. This is a short two-game series at Chicago. And let me quickly look and see. Yeah, 15-9. So the Braves are doing pretty good. They're off to a good start. I believe they're in first place. And let's do the lineups. Bill Bruton in center field. Eddie Matthews at third base. Hank Aaron in right field. Wes Covington, the left fielder. Frank Torrey, who's in a huge slump at first base. Del Crandall, the catcher. Johnny Logan, the shortstop. I think it's Johnny O'Brien, the second baseman. And then, of course, it's Lou Burdette. And he will be the pitcher. We rolled for him, and he's an A pitcher. We rolled for his A stuff. And then it's Bob Anderson for the Cubs, and he has his A stuff as well. So this is going to be a heck of a ball game. We'll see if it turns into a pitching duel or not, but it has, numerically, it should turn into a pitching duel. We'll see what happens. Leading off for the Cubs, the home team Cubs here in Wrigley Field, Taylor, second baseman. Dark at third base. Banks, the shortstop. He played shortstop back then. Morin, the left fielder. Long, the first baseman. Thompson, the center fielder. Walls, the right fielder. Taylor, the other Taylor. Sammy Taylor. Yeah, Tony Taylor and Sammy Taylor on this team. He's the catcher. And then you have Bob Anderson, who's an A. This time around, if you watch my last stream, I was using cards, fast action cards. It takes a little bit longer because of the way I do it. I'm sure there are like shortcuts to doing it, but it's easier for me to just do it one way. But anyway, I do want to look to pick up some of these cool these baseball cards from 1960. See if I get them. Even if they're sometimes guys make the cards, they create the cards, and they look just like the cards. They're the full cards, and I would even get a couple of those. They're pretty cheap, just to have them, on the table. They really impressive. Anyway. This is brought to you by, of course, Lucky Strike, right? The smooth and refreshing flavor of a real cigarette. And then, of course, also Pabst Blue Ribbon. Always ask for the original. And we're ready to roll here. Bill Bruton against Bob Anderson with his A stuff. And we will throw some dice. Let's get a red and a white. Let's go traditional APBA here. Definitely APBA influence in fall classic baseball. And there's Stratomatic influence as well. So I'm sure that Greg played both of them. That's a 22, and that is a 1-5 single, but we rolled a 7. That's going to be a base on balls, and he's going to have a chance to steal a base. And he is a 14. We're going to roll, and he is safe. There he goes. Throw down, and not in time. So he steals second base. So we've got a walk and a stolen base for Bill Bruton. And here's Eddie Matthews, a powerhouse Eddie Matthews. Bruton, by the way, is batting .360. Ouch. He's really smashing the ball, raking, as they say. He batted .289, but, the .369 is only temporary. So, the dice get hot streaks and cold streaks, and then hot streaks and then cold streaks, and you just have to be, good with it. And that's just the nature of the beast. So don't freak out and say, oh man, wait, he's hitting 70 points higher than his actual average. All right, Eddie Matthews, let's do it. And that is going to be a 33, and a 33 is line base hit to right center field. And a W in left field will score. In other words, if it's a weak arm in left field, the left fielder is Morin. I have a chart here. That's the great thing about Fall Classic. It gives you a whole chart. And you can see Morin is an A arm. So they're going to stop Bill Bruton at third base. So it's going to be first and third. And here's Hank Aaron. Hank Aaron, let's look at Hank Aaron and what he's doing. Eddie Matthews is batting I forget what he was batting. But anyway, we're at Hank Aaron now, and he's batting 344. He steps in the box. He's a right-handed hitter. He's got 4 home runs in 100 at-bats. How many home runs did he hit that season? It's on here. He hit 39 home runs. So he's got a home run at 66, one at 55, and then, of course, he got one at 65. So he'll hit a ton of home runs. He just hasn't gotten the roles. That's all. He did hit one in the series against Cincinnati, a big 3-run home run that put them, basically gave him the victory at 6-4. Here's a pitch to Hank Aaron. That's going to be a 51, which is a KD check, and 18 is not. I don't think it's going to be an error on the pitcher. Sometimes pitcher they have a 17. Bob Anderson's error number is a 17. That means he basically picked up a lot of errors. Anything under 17 or less would be an error, but we rolled an 18. And it's 18 is an even number, so he's going to go to second for 1. Runner will score on that. Trying for the double play. So it's an RBI for Aaron. A grounder to the left of the mound, so Bob Anderson have to go after the ball, and that gave Bill Bruton time. He had a good lead and being aggressive, and he headed for home. And here's Wes Covington with runners on first, 1 out. Pitch from Anderson. That's going to be a 56. Let's do 1-6. That's a 56, and that's usually a strikeout, and it is. He strikes him out. Curveball gets Covington. 2 down. And here's Frank Torrey. Frank Torrey's in a huge slump. He's batting 55 at bats, 18 games, batting 127. Nuts. But that's the nature of the beast. He'll have to start hitting. Doesn't have a lot of hits, but he has some hits. But he was a 228 hitter. But I feel like he doesn't have any hits on his card. I mean, I look at his card and I'm like, where are the hits, man? He's got hits against righties here at 25 and 26. So that's pretty. There's a lot of righties. So here's a pitch, and that's a 16, which will be another out. The 12 is a pop-up to the infield. Backing up a couple of steps on the outfield grass is the shortstop, Ernie Banks, and Banks makes the catch, and that retires the side. Nice big scoreboard so you can keep track of everything that's going. I thought that was a good idea. I think I saw Replay Gamer with that, and I said, you know what, I'm stealing that right now. And then I found out what my friend Rick from the Inside Pitch League, Liberty League, he searched a little bit and he found out the software, and he sent it to me, and it's called OBS, and it's a little bit of a learning curve at the beginning, but anybody could do it if you spend some time doing it. It took me about 3 or 4 days. I did have to get a mic, and I did have to kind of get upgrade my computer and so on. So it's a little bit of a process, a little bit of a project commitment. All right, Lou Burdette, and Burdette is having a good season. Burdette is 2-3 with a 3.32 ERA, a 1.1 WHIP in 60 innings pitched, 8 games started. I don't have his, and 2-3. So let's see if how he does in this game. Here's Tony Taylor, right-handed hitter, batted 280. That's a 35, and a 35 will be a 1-4 single. That's a 9. That's a fly ball, right field. He's a righty, so that's going to be right center field. Aaron and Bruton come together, but it's Aaron who calls him off. 1 down. Here's Al Dark. What a great name, right? These guys had great names. Al Dark. 264 hitter with 6 home runs. Here's the pitch from Burdette. That's a 54. That's going to be a 54 chart. It says go to the Wilder chart. Wilder chart says go to the wildest chart. And now we go to the wildest chart. It says pop up to shallow second base, shallow infield. And that's right behind the pitcher's mound, second baseman O'Brien, and he puts it away for out number 2. So that's a 9 and a 4. And here's Ernie Banks. Ernie Banks with 45 home runs, batted 304, 64 walks, 143 RBIs. Yikes. And the Cubs had a losing record, 74 and 80. So Lou Burdette looks into Crandall for the sign. Lines and deals to Banks, and that's a 54, another 54 chart. Again, it says go to Wilder chart. Let's see, Wilder chart. Wilder chart set to go to Wildest chart, and Wildest chart with nobody on base is going to be a pop out again, this time to the right side. And second baseman going back out into the outfield, and over the shoulder catch for Torrey, a great catch. Pop 3. Was that in foul territory? Nope. Just avoided a collision with Aaron and O'Brien, and that's 3 up, 3 down. We go to top of the second now. It's Del Crandall. Crandall is batting .207. He's in a slump as well. 5 home runs. Here's the pitch from Anderson. That's going to be a 22, and that's a 1-7 single. A 13 will be ball 4. So he takes ball 4, and he heads over to, let's see, 22. Oh, and that's okay. So he's on at first with a walk. Here's Johnny Logan. Pitch to Johnny Logan. They're holding on Crandall, 41. 41 will be ball 4. So back-to-back walks here for Crandall and Logan. And now we're going to, O'Brien is up. Johnny O'Brien. And Anderson shrugs off the sign. Now sees something he likes. He sets and deals. And that's a 36, and a 36 will be a ground ball out. So that's a grounder, and that's going to be to shortstop. He's a righty, so that's going to be to shortstop. And you know what? This is going to, I believe this is a 6-4-3 double play. Hold on a second. A righty to shortstop with runners on first and second. No, it's we didn't roll a 1. A strong arm shortstop, Ernie Banks. Let's see what Banks is. Banks is a strong arm, 6-4-3 double play. They turn it. And going to third is Crandall. So we know he's a strong arm shortstop. And I'll tell you, his numbers are 16S and 3. Outstanding range, strong arm, and very sure-handed. Here's Lou Burdette. I still got my pinch hitters from the last game. All right, we pulled. Okay, here's Lou Burdette. So it's a 6-4-3 double play. It goes Banks to Taylor to Long. Here's a pitch to Burdette. That's a 55, and that's going to be a drive in the gap. That's going to split the outfielders and roll to the wall. Let's see if Logan will score on this. And if he's F, he scores. And I don't think Logan is F. He is F, and he's going to come around. They're going to wave him around, and here is the throw is cut off, and it's an RBI for Burdette, and it's 2-0 now. So Burdette picks up an RBI, and we turn over the lineup. Bill Bruton, and I still got to work on his name. Bill Bruton is up with a runner on second. Here's a pitch. And that's a 22, and a 1-5 single. It's a 14, and that's going to be an out. 14 will be bounced to second base. Second baseman Taylor over to Long, and that retires the side. So 4-3 on Bruton. But the Braves pick up another run. 1 run on 1 hit and a couple of walks, and they leave 1. And this guy scored. It was Crandall who scored, so that's a 6 instead of a 7. Let's fix that. All right. And it's the bottom of the second inning. Walt Morin. Pitch from Burdette. That's a 42, and that'll be a fly ball right field. Over is Aaron. He settles under it, makes the catch. 1 down. Dale Long up next. Dale Long is a .236 hitter for that season. And that's a 66, 1-18 home run, but I rolled a 20. That's going to be off the top of the wall. That's a deep drive to right center field, and it's off the top of the wall into second base is Long with a long double. And he's in scoring position now. 2-0 the Braves. And here's Bobby Thompson. Pitch from Burdette. That's a 41. That'll be a fly ball center field. And With that 8, I don't know that anybody's going to advance from second base. No, he holds. Oh, on a 1, an F or an A can risk, but why do that? With nobody out, maybe, but there's already 2 outs. He'll score anyway from second base. So that's a fly out to center. Runner holds at second. And here's Lee Walls. Lee Walls in the replay's batting .314. In reality, batted .257. That's going to be a 43, and a 43 will be a bouncer to third, picked up by Matthews. Throw to Torrey, and that retires the side. No runs. 1 hit. They leave a man stranded at second base, that double. And here comes Eddie Matthews, Hank Aaron, and Wes Covington. Bob Anderson, good-looking youngster with good athleticism, 23 years old. Had a 1.3 whip, pitched 235 innings that season, was 12-13 in 1959. Bob Anderson with the Chicago Cubs. We're in Wrigley Field. And it's Eddie Matthews. He's a left-handed hitter. He's got 10 home runs on this season. We played 24 games. This is the 25th game. He's got 10 home runs. And all right, here's a pitch from Anderson. That's a 34, and a 34 will be a ground ball and through the right side for a base hit. So Matthews, who's batting .337, is 2 for 2 now. That'll undoubtedly go up. Here's Hank Aaron. Mr. Hank Aaron to you. Bob Anderson checks in for the sign. A calling card flip to first base to let Matthews know. Matthews being held on by Long, who straddles the bag. And here's the pitch to Aaron. That's a 62, and a 62 will be an out. A fly ball deep left field. Backing up towards the track is Marin, and Marin makes the catch. Next is Covington, Wes Covington, with a 21, and that'll be an out. That's going to be a ground ball to third now. This is a possibility of a double play. I don't know what Dark is. Dark is a 12A7. 12A7, and with a 5, that's a lefty. Oh, it's going to go to the first baseman. So the first, because he's a lefty, the first baseman Dale Long is an 8A17. So let's see if this will be a double play. An S or an A turns it, unless it's a 1, and it is a 1. So runner will advance. So it's a G3, and runner goes to second. And it's Frank Torrey, a left-handed hitter, batting .125. Pitch from Anderson. That's going to be a 61, which will be a bouncer right back to the mound. Anderson handles it easily, no runs, 1 hit, 1 left, and we move to the bottom of the third. All right, Sammy Taylor, the catcher. NW and 1, not a good catcher at all. And that's a 14, which will be a bouncer to second base. O'Brien over to Torrey. 1 down. 1 down for Burdette, who's pitching well. Here's Anderson. Oh, a 66, and that's going to be bounced to short. Logan over to Torrey for out number 2, 6-3. And now it's top of the order, Tony Taylor. And Tony Taylor with a 45, and that'll be pop-up to the left side. Third baseman Matthews in fair territory. Makes the catch, 3 up and 3 down. Super easy inning here for Burdette. Next up for now the top of the 4th for the Brave, it's Crandall, Logan, and O'Brien. And it's a 61. A 61 is a strikeout. Crandall heads back to the bench with the bat on his shoulder. Logan up next with a 53. That's going to be a KD check at 20. That's going to be a base hit. It's a range play. It's hit in the hole and past the diving shortstop, Banks. Banks is a 16, but we rolled a 20, so that beats Banks. So Logan on with a single, 1 out single for Johnny Logan, and he takes his lead. Anderson with a throw over, goes in. Logan goes in head first. O'Brien now. O'Brien's batting .088 in 34 bats. Here's the pitch, and that is a 52. That's an error check. With a 13, a 52. That won't be an error, but it's going to be a 6-4-3 double play. And Banks, it's going to go Banks to Taylor to Long, and that retires the side. So the second double play turned by the Cubs. No runs, 1 hit. Nobody left. When you got a strong arm infielder like that, you get a lot of advantages. That's why it's critical in this game to make defensive substitutions, because you got to get those guys in, those strong arm infielders late in the game, or outfielders for that matter. Here's Al Dark here in the bottom of the 4th. Game's moving pretty quickly. Not a lot of guys reaching base. That's a 66, and that's going to be a deep drive. That's over the center fielder's head, and it's 1 hop off the wall. And Dark is digging for second base. Here's the throw and the tag, and not in time. So it's a leadoff double for Al Dark. And here's Ernie Banks. Mr. Cub, that's a 42, and a 42 will be an out. It will be a bounce to second. Runner will advance on that. And what I put is a little 3 up here in that corner to say that third place batter, it moved him up. Sometimes I want to know that. So it's a 4-3. And it's still 2-0 Braves. And Walt Morin, a lefty hitter against Lou Burdette. Here's the pitch from Burdette's a 51. That's going to be an error check. And that is on the shortstop, but Logan is a 5. So the run will score here. We're playing deep on that. Oh, and he's not over. Don't do that. He does pick up an RBI here. Drives in number 2. So Morin bounces one to short, a slow bouncer that allows Dark to score. 2 out, nobody on. Pitch to Dale Long, left-handed hitter. It's a 15, and that's bounced to first base. And stepping on the bag is Torrey to retire the side. So 1 run on 1 hit. We move to the top of the 5th. It's 2-1, so we got a good close game going here, as we expected. Here's the pitcher who doubled earlier. He's a 21. He swings and misses at a fastball. So Bob Anderson blows a fastball by Burdette for the first out. We're in the top of the 5th. This game's moving really fast so far. Much faster than with cards, but 45, and a 45 is going to be a ground ball. He's a lefty, so I'll go to second base. And that's Taylor to Long. 2 out. And Eddie Matthews, who's 2 for 2. See if he can be 3 for 3, and he will be a base on balls. Ball 4. And Matthews is going to try to steal. He's a 13. There he goes, and he is safe because of the weak arm catcher. So it's a walk and a stolen base for Eddie Matthews. He's doing it all. I think that's his 2nd stolen base of the year. And that's going to bring up the always dangerous Hank Aaron, Mr. Hank Aaron to you. And do we face the 355 hitter, or do we face Covington? We're going to walk Aaron. I just have a bad feeling about pitching to him right now. And we're going to pitch to Wes Covington, who batted .279. So Anderson checks in with Sammy Taylor for the sign. He shakes him off. Now he sees something he likes. And there he goes. That's going to be a range check, and that's a 19. That's a 19. That's very high. That's going to be a 1 base. It's a single in the hole, and there will be no throw by Banks. So that's a single first. And oh, wait, it was for right. Okay, so everybody moves up 1. Bases are loaded. Bases are loaded. You got Matthews at 3rd, Aaron at 2nd, and Covington at 1st. And here comes the batter who's really struggling. 123 average, Frank Torrey. He's going to We need to roll a 20, 25 or 26 for him to get a hit here. Here's a pitch. That's a 42, and that will be an out. It's a fly ball, shallow center. Racing in is Thompson, and he makes the catch, and that retires the side. So no runs, one hit. The Super Braves leave the bases loaded. And we move to the bottom of the 5th inning. Excellent game here, 2-1. The Braves with 2 runs, 5 hits, no errors, and the Cubs with 1 run, 2 hits, and no errors. Burdette on the mound for the Braves, and he's dominant today. Thornton with a 66 and 1-18 home run. That's a deep drive to right field. Back goes Aaron to the track, to the wall. So long. Home run. And the game is tied. So, did I say Dale Long? Yeah, that was not Dale Long. That's going to be a double off the wall. It's not a home run, so the game is not tied yet. It's going to be a double off the wall. And into second base is Bobby Thompson with a double. All right, Lee Walls is up. There's a pitch from Burdette. That's a 15, which will be a ground ball to short. Runner will hold. They'll look Thompson back to second base. 6-3. And up comes Sammy Taylor. Sammy Taylor's a 269 hitter and 353 at-bats. So Burdette better proceed with caution. And a 45, I think, will be an out. And that's going to be a 16. He's a lefty. That's going to go to first base. Runner will move to third. Runner advances on that. Grounded to first. One hopper to Torrey. He steps on the bag. And that is an 8. I'll put that right in this corner so I know number 8 advanced them. And here's Bob Anderson, the pitcher. Bob Anderson batted .075. Still too early to pull him. So he's going to have to hit here. Here's the pitch and a 43, and that'll be a fly ball. Medium center field. Moving a couple of steps is Bill Bruton, and he makes the catch to retire the side. So no runs, one hit. And they failed to capitalize on the leadoff double. So here come the Braves in the top of the 6th with Crandall, Logan, and O'Brien. It's a blast to get to know these players and to see them day in and day out and to learn their. The good thing about this game, it has a lot of ratings. So you know the arm they had, their error ratings. It tells you their range. So you know a lot about the individual players and the strengths and weaknesses. Not just offensively, but defensively as well. Then, of course, their base running ability. Crandall bats from the right side. Today, he's walked and struck out. Crandall's batting .205. He's struggling as well at 25, and that'll be a fly ball to deep right field. Backing up is Walls, and Walls makes the catch with 1 foot on the warning track. And the way I know it's a deep fly ball, 5 and 6 are deep fly balls, 3 and 4 are medium fly balls, and 1 and 2 are shallow fly balls. Johnny Logan up now. That's a snake eyes. It'll be a 1-5 single, and that's a bouncer and through the hole for a base hit, and he's going to get a chance to steal the base. And there he goes, a 13, and he is out. And O'Brien is a righty, so that's a 2-4 caught stealing. So a single and a caught stealing thrown out by Sammy Taylor. And here's Johnny O'Brien. Johnny Logan and Johnny O'Brien. 36. Here's a pitch. 21, and that's bounced to second base. Tony Taylor this time. Over to Long, and that retires the side. 4-3. Go to the bottom of the 6th. Leading off is the top of the order, Tony Taylor. Pitch from Burdette. With a 26 against the lefty, it's a single. Otherwise, it's a bouncer up the middle. And getting there is O'Brien. Sets his feet and throws out Taylor. And that is Alvin Dark. That's a 51 with a 20. So that's going to be an error check on the shortstop. And shortstop Logan will get there. Throws high, but nice stretch by Torrey. 2 outs. Al Dark. And now it's Ernie Banks with a 46, and that's going to be a ballpark card, and that's a 14. He's a righty, and that's going to be foul ball. So Banks gets another chance, and a 43 will be a fly ball, medium center, and Bill Bruton has it. That retires the side. Go to the top of the 7th. Lou Burdette. So today the Braves are going to either be 16-9 or 15-10. We'll see what happens. 15-10 or 16-9. All right, the pitcher leads off here against Bob Anderson. Top of the 7th, a 32, and a 32 will be a ground ball to third base. Long throw by Dark, and he gets Burdette, who doesn't run particularly well. One out here in the 7th. Now it's Bill Bruton, and he is 0 for 2 with a walk. That's going to be a 21, and that'll be bounced to second base. Second baseman Taylor better hurry, and he throws him out by half a step. 4-3. And here's Eddie Matthews. Matthews batting .343. He's 2 for 2 today with a walk and a stolen base. Probably get another hit here. That's a 25, and that'll be a line drive to right field, and right there is Walls to make the catch. So he hit it hard, hit it on the screws, but right at the right fielder. No runs, no hits. After this, I think I'm going to play a inside pitch game with the Mets, the 85 Mets. Get a good game. See if I can find Ron Darling. Hank Aaron will be leading off the top of the 8th inning for the Braves. Right now, here in the bottom of the 7th, it's Marin, Long, and Thompson against Lou Burdette. And here's Marin. Here's a pitch, and that's a Snake Eyes, and the Snake Eyes will be a ground ball to first base. And first baseman will flip to Burdette covering. One out, 3-1. How did I know that? An easy way of doing it. See the D6? It happens about 30% of the time that the ball goes to the pitcher. So 1 and 2 would be about 33% of the time. 3 and 4, and 4 and 5. In other words, 1 and 2 would be first base flips to the pitcher. So it's very easy to follow that system. De Long. And De Long today is 1 for 2 with a double. Here's a pitch from Burdette, a 33, and that's going to be ball 4. And that is the first walk by Burdette in this game. So he's had good control. Has excellent control, by the way. Walks very few. Walked only 21. Listen to this. Sit down. 21 walks. No, that was 21 wins. Okay. Doesn't say how many walks he had. I'm very curious. I don't have my phone. Well, I have my other computer on the other side. But that's going to take time to turn on. But he barely walks anybody, so he had very few walks, I'm sure. Here's Bobby Thompson with a runner on first. The score is 2-1. Braves leading it here in the bottom of the 7th inning. There's a pitch, and that's a 44, and that's going to be a base hit. Rips one to left center, and runner will hold at second base. So he got first and second with only 1 out here, so there's a little bit of pressure now on Burdette. And out to talk to him is going to be Crandall, Del Crandall, excellent catcher. And pitchers really like him. Communicates very well with pitchers, calls a good game, good strong defensive skills. And we're checking out how many walks on our other computer. We got a computer central, it's here. And so I got a lot of stuff going on. This is where I'm going to play my so let's do. Just check. Let's just take a second to figure out in 59 how many walks. All right, in 59, he had 38 walks in almost 300 innings. Wow. All right, so he's in trouble here though. Lee Walls is up. Lee Walls is 0 for 2. He's grounded out twice. Runs on first and second. And here's the pitch from Burdette. That's a 42, and that is, my friends, that is going to be an out. A 6. Oh, they're going to turn it. I believe they're going to turn it. Let's see. No, it has to be a strong arm. Strong arm shortstop, and Logan is an average arm shortstop, so he does not turn it. So it becomes a 6, a fielder's choice. So it goes to second for 1, the throw to first, not in time. So runner will go to third. The tying run is at third base now with 2 outs. That's a 6-4. I'm going to play some Status Pro. I opened the box that I hadn't opened in. I received that in 2018, and I never opened it. And I'm looking for another box that I had with 2 other sets that I should have received. I don't know where they are. Probably somewhere. But anyway, I'm going to play some 1992 Yankees. Just for, using Status Pro and the fast action card system. So we got first and third, and here comes Sammy Taylor, left-handed hitter. So Burdette is 1 out away from getting away out of this this pickle, pitching his way out of this pickle. See what happens. Here's a pitch, and that is a 52, a possibility of an error. So it's going to be an error check on the third baseman. That's a pretty high number, so we may get lucky. And I think we did get lucky because Matthews has pretty good hands, and he will make the play. And it's going to go 5-4, goes to second, and that retires the side. So no runs, 1 hit, 2 left, and Burdette pitched his way out of trouble with a 5-4 fielder's choice. And that brings up the Braves here in the top of the 8th. It's going to be Aaron leading off. Bob Anderson is still in the game. And he's reached his... No, he hasn't reached his max yet. I've got to play a little Deep Drive to show you some of the excellent systems that Deep Drive has. I think it's pretty much a defunct game at this point. I feel that the designer is, although, very creative, and he's somebody who's when he puts his mind to it can be innovative. It's just not committed for whatever reason. He's not committed to the game. Maybe he will be in the future and he'll revive it, but right now it's kind of limbo. But his first version of the game is excellent. It's a lot of fun. It's easy to play. The cards are easy to read. It's a really fun game. You'll see some of my videos. That's a really cool game, but unfortunately I don't commit a lot of time to it because I don't feel that the designer is committing a lot of time to his game either. So why am I going to kill myself? He only has like about 6, 7 seasons available. All right. It's one of those games like in the, where they, from the 70s or 80s, that they created like a couple of seasons and then that was it. All right, here's Hank Aaron, Bob Anderson. Here's a pitch, and we need a couple more runs. 61 is not going to do it. He swings and misses at a high fastball, so it gets Aaron swinging. And that's 1 out here in the top of the 8th. Scores 2-1. See it on that big old scoreboard you have in front of your screen. Here's Wes Covington, 22, and that is going to be line base hit to right field. Played on a hop by the right fielder Walls, and Covington is on first. Covington is an A base runner. Frank Torrey, we're going to try a hit and run with poor Frank Torrey, see if we can get something going for him because he's really struggling. Here you go, there goes the runner, and that's a 10, and that's not going to do it. It would have been a hit, but he lost the hit there because it's a ground ball to third base. But the runner does move to second. He would have possibly scored. That's what happens when you're in a slump. Nothing you do is going to help. And what are you going to do? All right. I try not to do hit and runs with guys that are struggling. Kind of let them be, because that takes hits away. But Torrey is an A, so had I rolled an 11, a 12, or a 13, he would have had a hit. So it does increase his hit numbers, but then you lose good numbers like that. What are you going to do? Del Crandall, 2 outs, runner on second. And here's a pitch from, oh, you know what? Wait a second, that's 29. Now 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. Okay, we're going to pull Anderson here. He reached his limit. And let's see who we got on the bench. Oh. And we have Elston. Going to bring in Elston. Don Elston, I think his name is. Remember, I don't know these guys. I just go by, he looks like he's got a pretty good whip, so we're going to go with him. It's a close game. I want to make it fair. We have to roll, see what kind of stuff he has. So, Don Elston. Then we're going to probably pull a double switch here. Let's do that because I'm seeing that the pitchers do up next inning. So, did I undo? Did I bring Elston in already? Okay, here. All right, Don Elston. Oh, wait a second. First, I got to bring in the. Who am I going to replace? I'll replace Thompson, Walls. I'll replace the right fielder with Altman. Bring in Altman, and then here the right fielder will be the pitcher spot now. Elston will go into that Walls spot. So, Walls was a center fielder. Wait. No, it was a right fielder. Okay, there. Perfect. Done. Double switch. Let me grab Altman real quick. Ooh, all right. This game's brought to you by Lucky Strike, a real cigarette with a smooth and refreshing flavor. And Pabst Blue Ribbon beer. When you ask for Pabst, make sure it's the original Pabst Blue Ribbon beer. Who did I say was coming in? Elston is a... Alright, but hold on a second. Let me look at the lineup. It is Altman. That's what I'm looking for. So let me separate. Pitchers are separated. Just have to go. Oh, there he is. Got him. George Altman, who will be leading off in the bottom of the eighth. 245 hitter. All right, and Don Austin, we're going to roll for his stuff, see what kind of stuff he will have. This makes a difference. And, ooh, he's going to have his C stuff. So, Elston. His C stuff. And that will look like this on his card. So I don't let my C guys go very long. I pull them very quickly the minute they... I use them mostly for... I'll leave them in a little bit longer if it's like a mop-up situation or something like that. So he's going to face Crandall with a runner at second base. And here's a pitch. That's a 54. That's going to be a 54 chart lookup. And that's a wild pitch or a pass ball on a 3. And the catcher is Sammy Taylor. His pass ball rating is a 2. So it'll be a wild pitch. Unless Elston has like a 0. Now he's 1-7. So that's a wild pitch. And runner will move to third. On a ball that gets past the catcher and goes to the backstop. So wild pitch on Elston. He's charged with that wild pitch. And here's Del Crandall. Again, another opportunity to hit. 34, and a 34 will be a bouncer up the middle. Will anybody get it? No! And a run scores. Huge run. Huge run, and that's a 4 there. Drives in batter 4. And the Braves go up 3-1 now. So Crandall's on at first base, and here's Johnny Logan. That's a 52 and a 2. That should be a strikeout. KD strikeout, they call it. And that'll retire the side. But one run comes in on 2 hits. A big 2-out single by Del Crandall. Comes up big. A guy who's struggling. 1 for 3 today. So his batting average will go up a little bit. So Crandall with a single. And then a strikeout for Logan. And that retires the side. We go to the bottom of the 8th now. It's going to be Altman leading off. And here's a pitch from Burdette with a 55, and that's going to be a base hit. Rips one to right. Frozen rope off the bat of Altman. And he's on at first. That brings up the tying run to the plate and Tony Taylor. So Burdette going to try a hit and run. There goes the runner. And a 10 is going to be a bounce to the third base. Same thing that happened to the Braves happened to the Cubs. So they lost the base hit because of that. Al Dark now with a runner on second base. And it's a 13. 13 will be a bouncer to second. That will move the runner over to third. 4-3. The put out O'Brien to Torrey. And here's Ernie Banks. Ernie Banks, a home run from Ernie Banks right here, and he's got tons of power. He's a beast. And Burdette gave up a lot of home runs in 59. I'll tell you how many he gave up. Gave up a ton of home runs. He gave up almost 40 home runs in 1959. Wow. And his ERA was 4. His whip was 1.2, though. He had a good whip, a very low whip, but a high. He just gave up a lot of home runs. So that's trouble here. And you definitely don't want to put Banks on. I don't want to pitch to Banks. Much rather pitch to a guy like Marin, who hit 14 home runs in 400 at-bats, than Banks. But I don't want to put, you know what? I don't normally do this, but I'm going to walk Banks. So I'm putting the tying run on. I don't like to do that. I never do it, but in this case, Banks is just 45 home runs is just too powerful. So I'm going to go pitch to Walt Marin, and although he's a lefty hitter, I think it'll be much safer. Marin in the replay is batting 200, so he is the cleanup hitter, though, and this is the beginning of the season, so you're not looking to change him. He does have power. He has a power of 66, and he has power of 65, but nowhere near the power that Ernie Banks has. So here's a pitch. Let's see. We're taking a big risk. Oh, and I was expecting a 66, and we'll get out of this one. That's a pop-up to the right side, and right there is Torrey. Makes the catch, and that retires the side. So no runs, 1 hit, 2 left. And we go to the top of the 9th. Yikes. All right, so Burdette went 36, so he's still good so far. Oh, no, he went 27. No, he has not gone 36. Okay, so he's still good. Here we have Elston. If he lets one guy get on, it's the bottom of the order. It's the pitcher, the 8th place batter, and the pitcher. So I'll let him pitch to those guys, but if one guy gets on, we may have to look to make a move. Here's a pitch, and that's a 15, which will be a fly ball to deep center field. Johnny O'Brien gives it a ride. Thompson, a few steps back, makes the catch. Here's Lou Burdette with a 56, and that is a strikeout. So an 8 and a K, and that's 2 outs, and here's Bill Bruton. Top of the order now, so we have to worry. We have to proceed with caution. Bill Bruton batted 289, but in the replays batting 346. That's a 15, and that'll be a fly ball. Deep left field. Near the wall is Marin, and he makes the catch, and that retires the side. 3 up and 3 down for Elston. So it's last licks, and we have the starter. Lou Burdette in there is going for a complete game. You know, I'm a big complete game type of guy. I like my guys to go complete games if I can. If it's, you know, I don't like to trash their stats, you know. But he's pitched pretty well. I mean, in the last couple innings he struggled, so I'm going to take that into consideration, and I will pull him if he, you know, if I start sensing that he's not in control. I will pull him very fast. So here's Dale Long, a left-handed hitter. Dale Long is 1 for 2 with a walk. Here's a pitch, and that's going to be a 63. He'll get this out. It's bounced to second base. O'Brien over to Torrey for the first out. 3-1 Braves. The Braves are 2 outs away from victory here and improving their record to 16-9. Let's see if they can hold on. Still a lot of game left. 2 out, 2 big outs. Lou Burdette has to get. And remember, Lou Burdette gives up a lot of home runs. So from the minute we start rolling 66s and 65s, the Cubs can get right into this game. And let's do it. Let's roll. Here goes. And that's a 46 with a 10. And that's going to be pulled down the line into the left field corner. Will it stay fair? No. Goes foul at the last minute. So Bobby Thompson rips one into the corner in left field. And hit off the base of the wall over in left field. And here's a pitch to Thompson again from Burdette, which will be a 45. And that will be a bouncer to third base. Actually, shortstop. Shortstop gets it. Long throw by Logan and in the dirt, but scooped out nicely by Torrey. 6-3. And if you notice how I do that, I just put the G6. I don't need to write the 3. A lot of guys do 6-3, 4-3, 5-3, but you don't need it. It's unnecessary. Just, you know it's going to 3, right? And if it doesn't go, like if let's say there's a runner on first and it's the second baseman takes it, I'll just write 4U. All right, so the pitcher's up, so we're going to get a pinch hitter. Let's see if we can find somebody with some power. Let's see who's got a little... 11 home runs for Marshall, a left-hander. So let's grab Marshall. Jim Marshall is his name. So he's going to hit here for the pitcher. He's got power. You know what? I should save Marshall. Hold on a second. Because we don't need the power yet. We need one runner on to need the power. See who's got a good batting average. Ooh, okay, we're going to go with Jackson. R. Jackson. So we're not using Marshall yet. We're going to save Marshall. We're going to go with Jackson. Randy Jackson. And Lou Burdette with 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th. He's 1 out away from victory, 1 out away from a complete game. See if he can complete game 5 hitter. Let's see what happens here. It's all in the dice. Will the dice cooperate with Lou Burdette? See, here's a pitch, and that's a 64, and that'll be a bouncer to second base. So O'Brien picks it up, throws the first, and the ball game is over. And the Braves improve their record to 16-9. And the victory is going to go to Burdette, complete game victory. Burdette will, so that's going to be a Jackson. Actually, let's fix that because we had Marshall on there. So Jackson comes in. And bounces out. Randy Jackson, 4-3. And the final, Lou Burdette basically evens his record at 3-3. He was a 20-game winner that year. In 59, he was 21-15. Love that. 4 shutouts, 20 complete games. Love that. Gave up a lot of hits, though. Gave up 312 hits compared to his 289 innings pitched. He's no Tom Seaver, that's for sure. So it's Lou Burdette. Bob Anderson takes the loss, and he drops the loss for Anderson. And he's going to be 1-5. Ouch. 1-5. And that's going to be, it's a 2-game set with Chicago. Chicago won the first one and lost the second game. So we're going to, now I think it's, who do we play now? Cincinnati again or somebody? I can't remember. I can check very quickly. But I want to put in some information here quickly for the pitcher. Lou Burdette went 9-5-1-1-2-0. Oh, no strikeouts. 9-5-1-1-2-0. Wow. Okay. And Anderson went 7.2733. 7.2733. Walks, 5 walks, 4 strikeouts. And no home runs. Neither pitcher gave up a home run. And then Elston went 1.1 and 1 hit, 2 strikeouts. 1.1, 1 hit, and 2 strikeouts. So that was a fun game. My team won, so it makes it even more fun. And let's fill this out too. It's going to be 3-8-0 for the Braves. And it's going to be 1-5-0 for the Cubs. That was a lot of fun. And that's about it. This is Tony Porter, Cards and Dice TV. Remember to join Universal Baseball Association Facebook group. It's a Facebook group for the guys who hate Facebook groups for all those reasons that we hate Facebook groups. The tyrants and the heavy-handed approach to groups, and it's not about that at all. It's a very friendly group, and we encourage good energetic discussion, and it's a fun place. So you're going to get a lot of information. There's a lot of good content on there. Some of the top people in our hobby, people who are very, very productive in our hobby, are constantly sharing, their hacks and their views and their approaches and the way they do things. So anyway, it's good to hear from you guys. So reach out on YouTube and say hello. I answer everybody. And if you guys need anything, let me know. I'm here for you. And this is Tony Porter signing off. Take care. Classic Baseball 1959 Brave replay. Love it, man. Love it. Never expected to do a 59 replay.